The Padres wrap up a week in which they beat the Dodgers 2 out of 3, but then lose to the Mariners 2 out of 3. So we're talking about all of that and more on this episode of Padres Talking Padres. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Padres Talking Padres, your favorite podcast dedicated to the Padres that is hosted exclusively by real fathers. My name is Jay. And with me, as always, is Jerry and Jack. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
You like my new home?
It's really nice. Mid-century. No, it's not really mid-century modern. It's kind of like
we just had our house remodeled, so
postmodern, whatever.
It's kind of ugly.
Well, I didn't pay for it. It was free. So.
Oh, okay. It's kind of a hodgepodge. It looks very 2002.
That was my best year. 2002.
Well, gentlemen, it's kind of it's just a weird feeling week. I know we're kind of this group, all of us is kind of hit or miss with Giannis Antetokounmpo, but I think he encapsulated it well for my own weird feelings, where the Padres are, not to jinx anything, but pretty much a lock for the playoffs at this point, right? And so it's just this weird feeling of, okay, so every game matters because we want good seeding, but it's not the end of the world if we lose a series. But if you go on the internet, you would think we're the worst team in the world. So the thumbnail today is centered around a lot of the, I guess, heat that Mike Shildt has been getting. So that'll be the main story of this episode. We got a lot more to dig into. It's an off day in Padre land, so we'll kind of try and tap into the main through and story points throughout this past week and tee up the upcoming week. We got Oz in the chat.
Thanks, Oz.
The great and powerful Oz. Good to see you.
Oz likes my house.
Your fake house? Yeah, it's great. It's absolutely great. And Jerry is in the chat. Wow. And on the show. It's so impressive.
Wow. That's dedication.
It's amazing. Yeah.
That's dedication. 2 places at once. That's pretty. Yeah. That's a Wisconsin sunrise.
Before we get into the main subject, though, gentlemen, how are we feeling after the past week? I think most of us were saying it would be a winning record, but we ended up with an even 3-3. Didn't we say 3-3?
I think I did.
You did?
But
okay. So
I'm not positive about that, but I'm pretty sure I did.
I thought I said 3-3 too, but I couldn't remember. I was going to go back and I was going to go back and look at it, but I said, I can't remember. It wasn't the Dodgers so much I was worried about. It was Seattle.
It was the Mariners. There are new Colorado Rockies. Okay.
Yeah. To be fair,
except for Seattle's actually good.
So. It's fair.
You look at Seattle's lineup, and it's like, oh my God! You just, since you don't. I mean, I don't follow the Mariners that closely because they're not in our division and they're in the American League. And I go, but every guy coming up, I go, damn. Don't they have any weaknesses? I go.
I feel like they're. I don't watch the Mariners regularly, but with like so much of their run support being dependent on the home run, I feel like it's very feast or famine. Either like it goes great and like gangbusters, or you get a whole bunch of nothing. Yeah. And unfortunately, we got a lot of the homers hit against us.
Well, last year and most of this year, they've had some of the best pitching. Their starters are phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But the Suarez trade made them that much deeper. So we're not the only ones that got better with the trading deadline. And Suarez Suarez is a Padre killer. I mean,
he is.
I mean, I'm glad he's not with the Diamondbacks anymore, but unfortunately, they traded him to somebody we had to still play.
Well, especially when you're throwing the same pitch twice. And one pitch goes foul, and the next pitch goes boom.
Well, foul, but it was like upper deck.
It's still the difference between teams like the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Mariners. They live and die by the home run, and so they're going to be a little bit more sporadic. But it's fair game. They don't get a lot of rallies, but they get 3-run homers, 2-run homers, and again, just like the Dodgers. I mean, they kind of remind me of the Dodgers. They really do. But we're gonna have to learn how to beat those guys because those are the guys who are going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jerry, we'll start with you. How do you feel the past week? How everything went for the Padres?
Well, I'm a little tired. I don't know if I don't know if you can see my eyes. Yeah, I drove home from Solvang at 1:30 this morning.
That's right.
So,
Yeah, you had a big trip today.
yeah, so got through LA unscathed, but yeah, so I'm a little out of sorts here. But I unfortunately was blocked up in Solvang, so I did not get to see the Seattle series, live. I got to see Gamecast and things like. Yeah, I don't even ask me, Jack. When you come on and you're 4 hours away from San Diego and yet you're blocked, because what? Oh, I'm that much closer to Seattle. I don't get
welcome, and we played the Orioles. Was it next week?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'll be blocked.
Yeah.
I'll be blocked.
But from what I saw, there's a few things that I worry about. I'm much like Michael. I haven't had a chance to talk to Michael in about a week, but we're doing well. I mean, it's still the bottom line. I'm worried about two things. I'm joining the ranks. I am worried about a rise, and I was glad he got a day off more than anything. Don't give me the look, Jay. Everybody gets in a slump. My thing is that everybody needs a day off too, and so he was due for one. Just like anybody that has gone, I don't know, 1 for 15 or whatever he did for the series. He had an awful series, but so did our starting pitching, and that's the concern I have. It's great to have a 5 or 6 man bullpen, but we just can't keep going to it every game. Sooner or later, we got to get on some kind of a heater here where we get 2 or 3 games in a row where we don't have to go to the bullpen, because I know we got some days off, and that's good, but it's not the solution. So I think better times are ahead. That was really, except for the Mets and the Brewers. That's really the only playoff teams that we play the rest of the way. So, I think I'm optimistic only because we are kind of out of the doldrums of having to play these games. And I will say one thing that I did here, and then I'll turn it over to Jack. We think that we're bad against good teams, and we've only won one series on the road against a winning team. But the Dodgers have only won 3 series against a winning team on the road. So the road's tough for everybody. And so sometimes you just have to, step back and say, it's a road team. It's a playoff type team. It's their home. It's the same as we would expect when we're at home.
And there's just a little bit to the fact too, because there's been, and then sorry, Jack, I'm like literally jumping in front of you but I just want to at least get to this thought and then we'll move on. Sorry. But to the road thing where, there's this discussion of realignment and like maybe having a Western division and an Eastern division so that there's less crazy travel. And the Padres, believe it or not, had like the most miles or travel by miles out of any team. And so I do think there is something to that of it is kind of unfairly putting extra duress or stress on the Padres. And in fairness too, when they're going to the East Coast, perfect weather to like just awful southern weather during the summer. It is a stark difference, and it's much harder to play. So I do think that's maybe a factor there too. Jack, your thoughts on the
well, Jerry mentioned the starting pitching, and it is frustrating when you have 3 home runs. Was it 3 home runs in an inning? And we're up 4-1, and then Sears. I'd rather have Roebuck, but
Sears, that wasn't your best Sears joke. That was a good one, but what was your best Sears JP Sears joke? My best
JP is why it's you can see why Sears went out of business. I think is what I said. Yeah, I mean it's just the guy's got nothing. I mean, I just sit there and watch him pitch. I mean, but when you're up 4-1, okay, I'm thinking, okay, just got to get to the bullpen. Yeah. And I went back and watched because was that the one that Morgan gave up the or no, was that the first game?
Morgan gave up in the first game, I thought. It was the first game because
it was Sears.
Yes.
But I watched it. It was 2 outs, and I did, you could see Morgan was struggling, but it was, we're already into our bullpen, and Shildt couldn't, what do you do? Drain the whole bullpen, and so it was like one of those things where, well, if he would have taken him out, but who knows? But I'm like Jerry. I'm worried about the starting pitching. You got to get King back. I don't know what to do with Cease. I've been floating this idea for a couple months. I think if I'm his agent, I go, why don't you work on being a closer? I don't think you have the mentality to be a starter anymore. He just doesn't. He just can't do it. And then he gets flustered. He had a perfect game going. I mean, I know it was only the fourth inning. Boom, hit, boom, boom, boom. It's his walk. It's just like you see his frustration. He gets so frustrated on the mound.
His demeanor when things start going right.
And even it's funny. I heard Don Ocello say something about it, and I go, yes, I've been saying this for like a year. He just gets so emotional on the mound that he loses his focus, and I think that's his biggest problem. And you look at his stuff. And then he starts nitpicking and, trying to get this. And if one pitch doesn't work, he insists on throwing that pitch until he gets it for a strike.
Yep.
And I go, we need him.
And hitters know that too.
Yeah, we need him. And when you got guys like, I think Vasquez should be called back up. I don't know if he's been called back up yet.
He should be.
But he should. We can't keep throwing Sears. I mean, I know they sent Sears back down, so that's a good thing. But, when you have a great bullpen, which we do, you still got to get to the fifth inning. And again, Darvish was going pretty good yesterday. And then he gave up that pitch to Suarez, and boom, the game's now 4-1 or 4-0 at the time. And I think he was mad at Tatis for something. I've never seen Darvish mad, but when that ball fell between Laureano and Tatis, Darvish was like this. Mm-hmm. Like, why wasn't that caught? And maybe with Merrill out there, it could have been caught. So. I just think it's, I've never seen Darvish show any frustration, but I don't know. And even who's the one that gave up had the grand slam, Rob? That was the
Dodgers.
No. That was Laureano. Yeah, was it the Dodgers?
Yeah, Dodgers. Laureano robbed the grand slam.
I thought he did it against Seattle.
No, it was
Dodgers.
Okay,
okay. Whatever it was, I get. But this, I agree with Jerry.
Pivetta had that scary first inning.
Yes,
and Laureano robbed the grand slam.
They've got to figure out the starting pitching has to come around.
I will give a counter to all of that to a degree, but you look at the Dodgers series. And again, they're coming out of playing in Colorado, and the offense usually always takes a while to recalibrate after a road trip to Colorado. So the Dodgers had that. But Nestor Cortez, Nasty Nestor, threw a gem of a game.
Oh, yeah.
As did who pitched on Friday? Was it who pitched on Friday?
It was Darvish, wasn't it?
Darvish. Yeah,
Darvish versus Snell.
No, yeah, Darvish versus Snell. And Darvish pitched a really good game. I do think there's still a bit of Darvish honing his stuff, but also he's older. He's gonna give up a home. It was one home run that was 3 runs. It is what it is. But Sears I think is a problem, and to your point, Cease is a problem. And when you're thinking of the playoff rotations, I'm with you, Jack. I think he just comes out of the bullpen. You only give him a couple innings or something, or have an opener and that a Wandy Peralta open and then Cease for 3 innings.
Unless he has an outstanding September.
But even then, he's too much of a head case. Because I'm so sick of the just.
I
don't care. I'm so tired of you shaking your head when you just blow the game. He had, what was that catcher, the 9-hitter, batting 210, and he's throwing slider after slider after slider. You have a 5-run lead. Just throw a strike. Make him beat you. What are we doing here? And it's worse than Snell, because at least when Snell was on, he was unhittable. And sure, he'd only go 5 innings, but he didn't have the implosions like Cease has the implosions. To a degree. But there was a certain point where he'd lock in and he'd go on a heater, and you knew he was on a heater. Cease this whole season has been 2 steps away from just blowing it.
I think it would have been better if it's his contract year, and I don't know if that has anything to do with it. He has been
He's going to make a boatload of money, guys.
I mean, he's going to get paid, but not by the Padres.
Yeah, I wouldn't sign him. I wouldn't.
He's going to get paid. He's going to get paid more than you and anybody else will think. But he's going to.
No, I guarantee you he'll get paid.
Good luck to the team that does it.
And maybe he straightens himself out. But I look at Smoltz and Eckersley. I think he could be.
He's going to get more money as a starter. So that's why
I get it, but I think he could be a damn good closer. So
well, you don't go to your agent and say, I want to be a closer. That's up to the team. And
especially when Boris is your agent.
But look, I started this conversation, and I wasn't trying to start an avalanche of the negativity on the starters because they have it with them. To me, my comment was more of we need to be a little bit more consistent about getting into the sixth inning.
Exactly.
Look, good starters, great starters are going to give up runs.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with that. And I'm just a little too foolhardy, but when somebody like Darvish gives a 3-run homer, that's just baseball.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't get to choose when you give up the home run. To me, it Cease is more frustrating because it's the walks, and I'll say that about any great pitcher. Walks kill, and they know it. That's the thing. We all know. Sometimes we talk like we don't think so, but they're frustrated too. And I know Cease.
Well, we know Cease is frustrated.
Well, I know he struggles with his command and things like that. Yeah. Do I wish he wouldn't be so outward with it? Because I think that translates to the other dugout.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've seen every pitcher. 50 years get frustrated on the mound, whether it's the umpire squeezing them or something like that. But he's a little bit more regular about it. But the good news is we got King coming back. They haven't posted it yet, but it looks like he's probably going to pitch in the Minnesota series.
Oh,
really? I thought they said he's going to do a sim game in the Minnesota.
Is he? Okay, then that's changed because last I had heard that they were targeting the Minnesota series. So
yeah,
I know. They'll probably bring back Vasquez for them because there's an open slot right now.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's on Sunday. I'm looking at the
Sunday. Sears has to stay down for 15 games or something.
And then Merrill's due to come back on Saturday because he's got to get that's his 15th or whatever game he needs.
And we've been hitting pretty good without him.
Yeah, I mean, Lariano has, yeah.
I mean, but
I mean, come on. I mean,
actually,
I'm not trying to
on a heater as well.
I'm not trying to take off anybody else, but the guy's got 20 RBIs, since the trading deadline. 20 RBIs.
Oh, he's been
amazing.
That's like 125 RBI season average. So
no, he's been incredible.
He's been incredible. I don't think he plays a very good center field, despite the Dodger over the wall. It's been to me a little bit out of sorts playing center field.
Mm-hmm.
But we get Merrill back. I mean, we get Merrill come back. We get King back. We're going to be all right. We got the playoffs ahead of us.
Playoffs.
I think my big thing is that I am still buying into I'd love to win the division. I really want to lose the division or win the division.
Agreed.
But I want to pass the Cubs. That's the big one to me.
Step one.
No matter if we win the division or not, I want to get past the Cubs.
Because, and they lost today again, right?
Yeah, Giants did us another favor. Yeah, so you keep things in perspective because you look at our schedule and it's pretty generous.
Do we have the tiebreaker with the Cubs? I think we do, don't we?
No,
we're 3-3.
We're 3-3.
And the next tiebreaker is how you do within your own division.
Really?
Yep.
It's not strict head to head.
It's head to head.
No, I'm head to head, but what am I trying to say here?
I don't know.
Okay.
Who the Cubs played and who we played, and
everybody's played pretty much everybody the same.
That's true.
Yeah. Just to put some perspective on the stats with the playoff race as it stands right now, this is from today's AC Daily. Our odds are at 99.5% according to Fangraphs. We have the easiest remaining schedule of any MLB team. Just 9 of our final 28 games is against teams with winning records, and 16 of those games are against 4 of the bottom 6 teams in the major leagues.
And our record is somewhere around 667 against losing teams.
46-24 against losing records this season. Now, again, it's baseball. Stuff can always flip on its head, et cetera, et cetera. Sure. But we have, at least in the Shildt era, have a history of taking care of business against bad teams.
All right.
So
let's get to Shildt.
So let's talk about it.
Let's talk about Shildt.
So it is a great segue. The thumbnail, the title, everything's around. Oh, Mike Shildt, Michael B. Shildt. I don't know.
I'm sick of his Shildt.
So there is.
How many of us think we should fire him? Okay, now let's get to Shildt.
Yes, exactly.
Because that's I'm just, it blows my mind that I know there's all sorts of fans, but how many? It's not a vast majority, but how many people are like, we got to get rid of this guy? And I'm just amazed.
Oh, it's. I follow a lot of Padre fans on. I have a couple of Twitter accounts, and the one is like mostly Padre fans, and I've kind of gone in there and said, I go, have you guys forgotten how bad, or maybe you're new? We've had some bad managers. I go, he's not one of them, and they look at you. I'm like going,
well, and you know they go to 2 or 3 things. Number one, the batting order, and that's fine. We all do that. We just did it in our last episode.
Yeah,
what we think would be a better, this and that, and everything. How he handles the bullpen. That's the other one. Like, oh, why is he bringing this guy in there and this guy?
Every fan base has that thought about their managers, their bullpen management. But go ahead.
But the third one to me is the one that's like, you're being ridiculous, because he has the gall to defend his players, like unmitigated gall that this guy defends it. He never says anything bad about him.
Well, I don't want the managers.
We've all worked for a living. Do you want your manager going out in front of all the other employees and God knows who and saying, that Jack, man, I don't know what to do with him. He just underperforms.
You know what?
I just think that's
they're not wrong.
It's just ridiculous, though. You would expect the manager to call out his own players in an interview.
Those days are gone. The days of Dick Williams, Billy Martin, Earl Weaver, the list goes on and on and on. Yeah. You can't do that. I mean, not that Shildt would do it anyway, but you can't, with today's players are making more than the manager.
Well, unless you're Dave Roberts or Aaron Boone.
Yeah. But
they've both done it.
Yeah. I mean, but still, I just don't get, you could say, well, they had an off. I mean, again, I don't want the manager bashing the players publicly.
The thing, to that point, at least the press, and the press, they're only being fed information sometimes, and sometimes they run with it. Who knows how accurate it is or isn't as accurate? But it's if there's smoke, there may be fire. So you can use your own context and filters to put as much stock in it or not. But what they have said about the Shildt clubhouse is he will always defend his players in public, but behind closed doors, they will hold players accountable if they're,
and that's what he should be doing. I mean,
you should do. That's what you should do. People that are upset at Boone is just like, well, at least again, this is just what is the rumors or the things that get leaked and stuff like that. There's no accountability in the clubhouse, and that's where you see things like just bad baseball play.
Yeah, I really took umbrage that about a week ago. Cassavell, asked the question about Rice hitting second.
Mm-hmm.
And, Shildt did a little bit of a dance around, but basically his message was, I believe in this lineup. I believe in Luis Rice. I've got I've got what I want, and I'm getting what I want out of it. And people took Cassavell to task. Well, why didn't you press him more? Why didn't you ask him more? Why didn't you get more production? And he literally went on and answered and said, that's not my job, folks. My job is just to ask the question. Yeah. It's not to pursue the manager down the hallway and say, I need a better answer. That wasn't good enough,
It's not a presidential press conference. I mean,
yes,
it's not like we're on the verge of World War III. Hey, what are you doing here with the Russians?
It's not life or death. It's a game.
It's a game. And I think, I was like, well, he asked the question. That's what people have been complaining about. He asked the question. Again, I remember bad managers. I mean, there's a long list of bad
recently
managers.
Tangler, Melvin.
I mean, but I also follow a lot of Dodger fans, and when they fell behind us and stuff like that, oh, Dave Roberts has to go. Dave Roberts,
he would have if they lose that series last year.
He's not the highest paid manager in baseball. He's out. I mean, he's probably managing another team, but he would have been gone.
Yeah,
but he's won his second World Series, and yet people are still ticked that The Dodgers, I think fans are mad because they thought they were going to have a 30-game lead in the NL West. And to be honest with you, I thought they were too.
Everybody did.
And that's what another thing I've said to a few people. I go, and this is when we fell 1 game back. I go, we're 1 game back. I'm technically 2. You always have to add a game because we lose the tiebreaker. I go, but I never expected to be this close to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Sure, now that we took over first place and we're this and that, I go, yeah, I want to win the division. I want to win the division. But if we don't, like you said, pass the Cubs, keep winning, get on a roll towards the end of the season, then that usually carries into the playoffs.
And keep going to the playoffs. That's all I ask.
Yeah,
keep going to the playoffs.
You can shorten your starting pitching, and then you have an incredible bullpen. And if Cease doesn't make it, Cease in the bullpen, I think, would be effective as another pitcher coming out of the bullpen. So I think people just need to chill a little bit. And, like Michael, let's start complaining about Tatis playing right field. I agree. No, I'm the one that wanted him in right field.
I agree. The thumbnail is calmed down. And I do think there's a level of, I think it's the manager's job is a tough one. And they have to take the heat, right? They got to make the decisions. They rarely get praise when they make the right decision.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He can, he can take some heat. I'm not defending Shildt so much as I understand why he is saying what he is saying.
Yeah, because
I think in general. Yeah, I think in general, Jay and Jack, I think people are still pissed off about last year's ending. I think so. I just think that they just that's just really got into them, and now they don't want to see it happen again, whether it's regular season or playoffs. I was in Solvang for 3 days. It's a bunch of guys from all over San Francisco, Sacramento, LA, San Diego. So in the room of 10 of us doing our fantasy football trip here, I had the delight of being in the same room with Giant fans, Dodger fans, and Padre fans. Quite the lively conversations.
How many fights broke out?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, what was really great is
he's got a knife.
What was really great, though, is that the Giant fans and us Padre fans, me in particular, we had a great time roasting the Dodgers. just like, we're all over them. And we talked about people we didn't like. And I said, there's nobody on the Giants that I just don't like. I mean, I said, but the Dodgers, and so the Dodgers fan that I went with, he's a good guy. But he says, well, who do you not like on the Dodgers? And I said, well, there's 4. I said, start with Dave Roberts.
Yep.
Max Muncy. And he goes, why do you hate Max Muncy? And I go, we don't know. We just don't like him.
Look at that face.
He's got the punchable face. I mean, he can't.
The other one was Kiki Hernandez.
Oh, yeah.
With the, thing.
Well, that wasn't
the pouty. That wasn't Kiki.
No, it was. And Joe Kelly. And Joe Kelly.
Oh, Joe Kelly.
The pouty. I said, that's the 4 we don't like. Yeah. He goes, you know who we don't like? And I go, Manny Machado.
Fernando Tatis.
Of course. Oh, no, they don't mind Tatis. And then we got into the whole hit by pitch thing. And, of course, he didn't believe it. I said, he's been hit 6 times this year by the Dodgers. No. Well, it's because that's because he lunges inside. It's like, you guys are so full of it when you say that.
He's like back off the plate.
He's like 2 feet away from the plate, and he steps towards the back, the front.
Word got out.
You can't convince any Dodger fan, even my friends. You can't convince them that they're doing anything wrong. And of course, none of them were intentional, according to my.
Yeah.
buddy.
Oh, yeah. It was all an accident.
But the 2 that Ohtani got hit were intentional. I go,
yeah.
No, one of them was, but yeah, okay, yeah, we'll learn that one. But you're telling me the one against Tatis wasn't?
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I noticed against Tatis the last series he didn't get thrown at.
Nope.
Yeah. So imagine that. All of a sudden, the control got better?
Yeah.
They got Mason Miller over there throwing 103 miles an hour. We don't want him hitting it.
Or you
know what happened? This is a manager's decision. I guarantee you that when they hit Ohtani in that last series before, we finally sent the message it needed to be. I don't like that tit for tat, but it needed to be done.
It needed to be done.
You keep hitting him. All right. That's it. We're going after Ohtani. And Ohtani knew it, brushed him off. And guess what? Nobody got hit in the series on any intention whatsoever. So
Absolutely.
Hopefully we're done with that.
Yeah. You have. I mean, that was my biggest complaint. I'll be honest. The one thing I said about Shildt, I said he needs to retaliate. I've been saying this since last season. I said he needs to retaliate. Our guys are going up there getting hit, and he just goes, hey, I don't want to, I don't want to do it. And, having Suarez come in with his heater and throwing as hard as he does and hitting Ohtani, people are like, oh, aim for his head. I go, hit him in the back.
Yeah. There's a little high on his back. That's because he kind of ducked out into it, kind of, but whatever. He was fine. But I also give Ohtani credit. Actually, I give him a lot of, like, I hate that he's a Dodger and a gambler, but and somebody that
swindler,
swindles on real estate deals. But I give him credit for having some humor about it. The All-Star game, pretending his back was hurt to Suarez, and just that, or interacting with that Padre fan that was talking trash to him the whole game.
Well, that's what I told the Dodger fan. It's like we and I spoke for us. I said we actually like Mookie Betts. We actually like Freddie Freeman. We just wish they weren't on the Dodgers, but we like them, And that's what, So, I think that's what makes the rivalry. I think it's a lot more about the fans. I think it's just two really competitive teams that want to beat each other. But again, I blame Dave Roberts for bringing a lot of this in because Dave Roberts went after Green. Dave Roberts went after Tingler. Dave Roberts went after Shildt. He's trying to be the big man on campus, and he's doing it through his ball play.
Where's a chip on his shoulder that the Padres didn't choose him?
Exactly, and you know what? And then did the Machado thing in the playoffs. He's just not a good person, and I it's disappointing because I, for one, wanted them to hire Dave Roberts before he left. I was mad that he went to the Dodgers because I thought he did his time for the Padres, and I thought he was going to be a good manager. I was wrong on both counts, but the bottom line is we also let Skip Schumacher go, and I hated that.
Yeah, I wish we would have kept Skip. But
and so, but the bottom line is that's all gone and past because I love Mike Shildt, and I like the way he is, and I don't want him to change a thing, quite honestly. I like the way he handles the press. I like the way he handles the team, and apparently the clubhouse is behind him. So.
Well, you guys talk about Mookie Betts, and it's funny. I follow a lot of Dodger fans, and when they're complaining about it, I go, you can trade him to us anytime you want. I go, I will take him. He said, oh, he's done. I go, send him over. Send him over. We'll take him. So
I love this from Michael here. No, Jerry Muncy needs to let every Padres fan take turns giving him paper cuts. Muncy's a player I'd never want.
I'm sure Muncy's a great. I would probably take him.
Nah,
he's a Padre killer. He's just a Padre killer, right? He does hit a lot of home runs. He does. I mean,
hey, if you're a fan of a team, you'll take whoever. I don't care if it's your worst enemy. I really believe that. Once they're on your team, it's like, oh,
hey,
guys on my
I
team.
remember taking Steve Garvey.
Yeah, exactly.
And I hated Steve Garvey. I mean, hated Steve Garvey. I still remember at the game saying, Garvey's a piece. And then it was before he signed with the year before he signed with the Padres. And some fan goes, well, you take him on the Padres, wouldn't you? I go, yeah, I probably would. I never thought it would happen. But when it happened, I was like, all right.
But it's human nature, though. And ultimately, I think sometimes it's just our way of respecting somebody because they kill us so bad.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, you're right. I mean, Max Muncy has just killed us over the years. He's right there with Charlie Blackmon, and Eugenio Suarez, where these just guys, it's just like, oh my gosh, why did they always come up with the winning run on first and hit a home run? And you're just like, there we go again. Doggone it.
Why do we pitch to him?
Yeah.
Damn you, Shildt.
Which is why I can't hate Ohtani because guess what? Ohtani's only hit 3 home runs against us.
He's been terrible.
Since he's been with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
The only one that mattered was the one that he hit Cease.
Yeah. But again, I mean, you're holding probably the premier home run hitter in baseball, if not him, Judge, and you're holding him to 3 home runs over 3 seasons now. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty good.
You got a home run this past weekend, kind of in mop-up time.
It was the 9th, and it was
8, it was whatever.
Yeah, the game was over. It was off Matsui too.
Speaking of our love for Shildt and his decisions, Arise finally got a day off.
Yep,
needed one.
I don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't. When you had people to take his, I don't know why it took so long.
I agree. But I think the most concerning stat that the AC pulled up is over his past 16 games, he is 2 for 23 with 2 sacrifice bunts and 2 sacrifice flies in that span when Fernando Tatis Jr. reaches base in front of him. Is this just a small sample size and you still
It's a bad time for a slump? I mean, it really is.
I will say this, though.
He's coming back, guys. Shildt says it's a one-day.
The game against the Dodgers, against Glasnow, he had the great sacrifice bunt that people on Twitter bitched about, and we scored a run. But also he had that at bat where he had took 10 pitches, and you see that Glasnow was getting pissed.
Yeah,
it's like so I will give him credit for that.
What is it? Grant always says he's a gnat. He's just it just drives guys crazy. But
but I go, that's a great at bat. I don't even think he got a hit, but I think it was just like you could see. And then the next inning, we came back and we took it,
warmed down.
Anyway, I thought that was a good. So I see. I can say positive things when there's positive things. So.
Well, and that's the thing is and again a very one game sample size, but we scored 3 runs yesterday, so it wasn't a whole lot different. I honestly, like I said, I'm not going to say anything only because I'm not the manager and I don't know the clubhouse and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes we all, see a lineup and go, wow, what, that's kind of unusual,
Right.
And we were talking, I remember, I don't know, a couple months ago when Merrill was struggling a little bit in the 4-hole, we all said, yeah, might be a good time to put him back in the 6-hole, give him, a chance to find his feet. So as a permanent thing, I don't think so. But I think it's fine, but I wouldn't be shocked or surprised if he just said, okay, you know what, Luis, until you get back in the swing, let's put you down at 6, and then as soon as you straighten up, okay, well then we'll put you back up there.
So that my question is, my follow up to that is, at what point do you make that call? Like, how many more games of that performance do you do it, or do you keep him at 2, or say you are the manager, Jerry. When do you make that call, or does it not matter when you make it?
It's always hard because to me it's how you make it out, so to speak. So I go back, guys, Jackson Merrill's my favorite Padre now, and I know he's having a not so good year. He went for, I don't know, about 3 or 4 weeks before they finally said, okay, you know what, let's get out. I think a lot of it has to do with, are you getting good quality at bats? Like Bogey at the first of the season and Merrill, the guy is hitting it right at somebody, and you're like, okay. And if you're not watching, you go, that Arise, he went 0 for 4 again and everything. And yet, if you watch the game, it's like, yeah, but he hit 2 line drives and a hard ground ball. But I think from a mindset, even if you're getting unlucky, there's a certain point that you kind of say, let me take the pressure off of them for a little bit, and that's what they did with Merrill. And it worked for a while, and then unfortunately, Merrill's just been getting hurt before you can find out whether or not it's working, full time and everything.
I don't think he's been healthy since he got hurt the first. It's one of those things, right?
That concussion one to me was the one that really I think made the difference. But I bottom line, me and Michael have talked about this many times. It's like the guy's 3-time batting champ. I know he's not having the year that he's had in the past, but I still say he's a great hit and run guy. I mean, he puts the bat on the ball, and we talked about this last time, so I won't get too much into it. We don't know when he's getting a hit and run signal and when he's messing up a steal. We just don't know which one it is. So
when he doesn't get the hit, or when he's not successful on the hit and run, that was a straight steal.
Yeah.
Okay. Another question. Put our manager hats on. Freddie Fermin start out real hot, but has been a bit cold as of late. But he's been starting way more than he has in his career. So far, it's only been Diaz on Pavetta days. Fermin's been doing, night into day games. Would you shift the strategy for Fermin to, give him a bit more time off of his feet? Are we wearing him out a little bit by putting him out all the time?
I don't think so. Because we have more days off coming now. We just got done with our last 13 game stretch there. Okay. I just think that a lot of times it's got to be the conversation between him and Shildt. I'm doing fine. Now, having said that, he's 30 years old. He is playing more than he ever has. But I think, you give him a break what was it? Did he catch yesterday?
He did.
Okay. So to me, it would have been a good time to give him like that 2 days. Who knows?
Especially against Wu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with him catching on Saturday, then maybe Shildt says, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and give you Friday off too. So
I think people forget too that we faced the Dodgers' top 3 pitchers in that series, and we won 2 of the games. So they were tough.
I think they have top 5 pitchers.
But
I don't know if I can agree with that. I really don't. I mean,
well, I'm saying as of now, I would say Kershaw's been pitching well too, but
yeah,
and Ohtani had a good game this game, but the game before he had a bad game. His ERA is still over 4.
Yeah. Well, a lot of that's because of the first couple of games.
It's not my fault.
No.
But I'm going to say if you go against Snell, Glasnow, and Yamamoto, those are 3 excellent pitchers. And
let's put it this way, Jack. Let me ask you a question to clarify your point. You get to be the Dodgers manager against the Padres. You get to pick which 3 starters do you want to see.
I just told you.
Who?
I'd go Snell, Glasnow.
You'd want to face Snell, Glasnow, and Ohtani?
No.
If I'm the manager of the Dodgers?
No, I'm saying as a Padre fan, you get to pick the starters.
Yeah.
Who would you want?
Those 3. I would pick those 3.
Really?
You'd want those 3 starting?
Yeah. Well, okay. Maybe not Yamamoto. No. Actually, we played well against Yamamoto.
I don't want any of them. That's my point.
Well, obviously,
pick 3 good ones.
But you don't have a choice. I would go with Kershaw, and I would go with Ohtani because we've done well against Ohtani in the past.
Yep.
He's been inconsistent. He was great yesterday, but the Reds haven't been hitting for a while. The Reds have been tanking. So I'm trying to say about Fermin. He's had, and then he faced Wu yesterday.
Yeah.
I've said bad performance. You got to remember who they're facing too.
Sure.
I mean, you're faced 4 excellent starting pitchers. Now, the first 2 pitchers for Seattle, Castillo had a really bad first inning, but he settled down after that. He's a good pitcher, but he's not I would rather go against him than Wu. But that's what I'm saying about Fermin. I wasn't talking about anything else. I'm just saying those are 4 really good pitchers. Yeah, you might slump against really good pitching.
It's true. It's true. Real quick, got a question in the chat that I think is a fun one to bring in to the phone.
Yes.
Well, let me ask it. People are listening, they're not watching. Do you think Bob Melvin, was a bad manager? Jack, I'll let you answer first.
I'm not going to say bad, but he wasn't the right fit for the Padres. I don't think
the Giants.
Or the Giants. I think, like, again, we talked about last week when Willie Adames was trying to talk to him in the game, and obviously he was concerned about something. Adames is a veteran. He's been a great player, for the last 4 or 5 years. And Melvin was ignoring him. It's like, I don't want to listen to you. I don't care. And I think that's his problem, is he just has that. I mean, that was a rumor that was, he was managing the Padres. He just like, whatever, I can't control these guys. Soto does what he wants, and Hader doesn't want to play more than, pitch more than 3 batters in a week. So I just think as a manager, you got to be stronger. So I think he's a good manager, but I wouldn't say great manager.
I don't think he's today's manager. And I'll tell you why. He lost the clubhouse his last year here. He lost it. Hader didn't want to pitch 2 innings. Okay. Soto started, sulking around, and everybody was not on the same page. I thought it was very evident that he wasn't a good manager, because I'm of the opinion that filling out the lineup card is the least of worries for a manager. It's the last thing that I care about
for who's batting
for a manager. If I'm the manager, I want the guy that runs the clubhouse well, that runs the pitching staff well, but the lineup card's the last thing. But you can tell these guys love Shildt.
Oh,
they didn't love Melvin.
No,
they did not.
Yep, agreed.
It is Sleepy Bob.
It's Sleepy Bob. It is that accountability clubhouse thing, and you just look at the way the team arrives and prepares itself, and they have an approach, and for better or worse, there's things that could frustrate you about that, but you cannot deny the results. It's a results-based business.
Yeah,
and
I mean, like I said, he
has been better with
good
Shildt.
years, but I don't think I wouldn't want him back.
Like you look at Bob, like we went to the NLCS, which is great, but we kind of went on a heater at the end of the year and just kind of rode that out. But we were kind of underperforming at different parts of that season for good stretches of that season, you know? So,
and then the next year we slumped out of the gate
and not making the playoffs in 23 was a fireable offense. I was glad, like we said, I think we said last week, I'm glad he decided he wanted to leave.
But then you look at the Giants, it's almost the same kind of results, right? Like they're out of it and now the team's starting to play well. Like there's just it's a results-based business. Look at the results once he's out of the A's.
About the only thing that I kind of gave the Giants fans up in my retreat there some grief on is, well, I'm glad you guys got Bob Melvin. They're like,
Giants fans do not like Bob Melvin.
No.
They liked him at first,
and I agree with them because they do look at the construction of the team, and you know, I'll be the first one to admit it. Willie Adames, you just mentioned him. I thought he was the premier get in the offseason. And look at him now. He's hitting 220, and he's hitting a few bombs lately, but now they're out. It kind of reminds me of when the Padres went on the heater. Like, oh yeah, it's easy to play when you're 12 games out of the playoff race.
He's on my keeper league, and I kept him, and I don't think I've played him because I have shortstops that are better than him. I haven't played him in like 2 months, but I don't want to release him because I don't want anybody that's could be
release him. It's easy.
No, I don't want to have someone because he's hitting now, but I don't want to release him so someone that I'm going to play in the playoffs can use him against me. So I'm keeping him on my bench.
But with a month ago, you sit there and you look at we just got done with this series, and again, I've always equated that when you're playing two playoff teams, which that's what it looks like right now for Dodgers for sure, obviously, but I think Mariners are in pretty good position too.
I don't know the Mariners,
and you went 3-3, and on the road. So you know what, I'm doing okay. I think that there's a chance that we go on a real run now. I'd love to see Merrill get back on Saturday like he's supposed to. I'd love to see King get back. I might have got my information wrong. I had heard that he might come back in Minnesota.
We need King back bad.
But, but if at the very least, I'd like to get him back because as a pitcher, you'd like to have him have about 5 starts before we get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Darvish is doing a little bit hit and miss. And quite honestly, really, it's the home run ball that's killed him.
Yeah.
Other than that, he's pitched great.
Okay, here's a question to you, Jerry.
Yeah.
Sheets has been hitting pretty good since he came back.
I'll give you some stats to back that up, Jack. Okay. He is, since Merrill went down on the IL, he is batting 378, 14 for 37 with a 12.09 OPS.
It's a tough decision right now, and that's I get it, especially with him and O'Hearn. I don't know what O'Hearn's done, but he's out. Everybody's doing better than Arise. I know that's where we're going. Everybody's doing better than Arise right now. I don't have any problem with getting a guy, a couple of days off and see if he can get his head right and everything like that. It's really going to get crowded, which we said after the trading deadline, and Michael will attest to this. We talked about last time. We got 11 guys for 9 slots.
Sure.
I mean, it is, but that's a tough thing to manage. That's actually when it does get tough to manage. You're like, how do I keep everybody involved? How do I keep, the lineup moving? What options do I keep on the bench? I wish Iglesias would get a little bit more playing time, but I get why he's not getting more playing time. I'd like Sheets and O'Hearn to get a little bit more playing time, but again, I'm an Arise fan. I believe in him. I think he's had a slump, but we've seen him when he goes on those 3-hit game, 4-hit game. He still has more 3-hit games than anybody in Major League Baseball this year. So despite the fact that he's
very feast or famine this year, like he's had, to your point, a lot of 3-hit games and then a lot of no-hit games. And it's just
exactly, which is unlike him. That's what's probably the confusing part is, wait a minute, this is a guy that since we had him in last May, never seemed to go in any kind of an extended slump. This might be new to him too.
Even with his thumb.
Yeah.
He hit better last year with a torn thumb or whatever it was.
Yeah. But I think again, I'll leave it to Shildt, but it wouldn't be surprising to me to, and I might agree with this if my opinion mattered about the lineup, I might give him, Friday off too, and just say, hey, look, we're going to just give you like 3 days in a row, hit the batting cage a little bit, get rested and all that stuff.
It works for
because you do have an alternative now where you didn't before.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And I think that should be the shift. It's not everyone has to play every single game because it's impossible, but there should be a greater balance of, and then also riding the hot hand.
It's like the Fermin thing, right? Yes. I mean, it's like, anytime you look at your bench or whatever you want to call it, and you see 11 guys, you want the best 9 every day, but you can't do that. Like your 2 other guys are going to go rusty. And it's not going to work out.
I think with having 11 guys that you feel comfortable starting, at any time. Maybe obviously you can't do that because the math doesn't work. But with we got 28 games to go now, something like that. Yeah. There's no reason not to start giving people days off if you can feel that. I mean, and if you're playing against inferior teams that you should be beating anyway. And we beat when we didn't have the 11 guys. Our bottom 3 was terrible. I think there's no reason not to give Bogarts more time off and Machado some time off. You want to go in the playoffs fresh. And I would think Arise and giving, Sheets has had some time off, but I think even Liriano, give him a day off here or there. You just start starting these guys so you can, as long as you're winning, right? As long as you're scoring runs.
Yeah, it's funny though, Jack. That was actually a topic of conversation on the Padres Roundtable this morning on the sports station.
They got to stop listening to us.
Yeah, but it was really an interesting question, and there was a variety of answers, and I won't go over theirs, but it was kind of like, do you okay, we're probably we're 90. What was it, Jay? 99%. We're going to make the
99.5.
Right. Yeah. So do you, to your suggestion, say, you know what, let's just take the pedal off the metal. Let's start, just listen through, to the extent where we're not giving away games, but we're just going to start giving more days off. We're going to start, literally like, hey, Machado, I don't even want you at the ballpark today. I want you to have the day off like he did with Fernando that one time where don't even put on a uniform. Just sit on the bench and,
eat your sunflower seeds.
Yeah. And so there's that theory, and then there's the theory of do you keep on going and keep on playing? And then what most of them said, generally speaking, was, well, I think we go a couple more weeks before we make that decision. Exactly. That's kind of where I lie.
I think that's.
I don't want to start giving guys days off until you get to maybe 10 days before the season, because that's plenty of time, Jack. I mean, I know these guys have been grinding, but you give a guy 2 days off and he's fresh again. I mean, it's your.
Well, what I'm saying is you have 11 guys and you have, you have a rise. I mean, like we say, eventually he can start hitting again and hitting like he's capable of hitting. Sheets is hitting. I mean, I don't think you're losing anything by giving Arise another day off and keeping Sheets in the lineup when Merrill comes back. The way Sheets has been hitting, I don't think what I'm saying is you can just, let these guys. It's not like we're putting what's his name?
But see, I feel like Shilt's doing that already, don't you?
I think so. I think Arise is the only one that just feels like has been in there every single day, and I'm glad he got a day off. But I think that was more of the you had O'Hearn sitting a lot.
I think his days off, so to speak, were DHing.
Sure.
Well, I'm saying is
same thing with Manny, and the same thing with.
What I'm saying is different when you had Brooks and you had Wade. And you had when you didn't have when you didn't have a bench and you were
Gurriel.
And you're having these guys play and you're like going, all right, why?
I'm not disagreeing with you, Jack. I'm just saying I think he's already doing that to a large extent because none of these guys are forgotten. The same 11 are playing in the starting lineup. The only difference is Diaz catching, but the same 11 guys are moving in and out. I mean, I always wonder what we were going to do back in the day with a DH. And, I thought for sure after a couple of years, like, okay, we're going to go get a DH, like a DH, but, the guy that literally, like Ozuna, like he's not going to the outfield. He's going to put DH every day. And I got to tell you, I've changed my attitude. I think what we're doing and we're not the only ones, where you just say, you know what, we don't have a DH. We just got people that can flex to different places and give the infield a day off one at a time. I think that's just the better way to go.
But
Problem
that's what
was before we didn't have anybody that we wanted to flex in.
exactly.
And now we do. So that makes a difference.
We didn't have a bench. So
Exactly. And now we have a bench, and now you should use it.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Real quick. Oz asked for it and now delivered. We have a Talking Padres Discord server. So if you want to come hang out and talk Padres outside of when we do these shows on Thursday nights, 5:15 Pacific
ringing
Standard Time. It's probably your phone or something.
It's my phone.
Oh, your phone.
I was like, what the heck is going on?
So go and join. I'm already on there. I'm guessing Oz is on there too. So coming out. Padres.
Are you gonna send us a link?
Yes, I'll send it to you, gentlemen, as well.
Oh, thank you.
Discord. Jerry, hopefully, maybe your wife can set you up for the figure it out.
Jerry's not laughing. He doesn't think that's funny.
I think it's funny.
Did he freeze? Did he freeze?
He's locked in. He's locked in.
No, it's my Bob Melvin invitation.
That's a good Bob Melvin. That's a good Bob Melvin.
It's scary.
I'm stealing from Jack. Because this is Bob Melvin having sex.
All right. Games coming up. We got
Bob Melvin doesn't have sex.
A 3-game set in Minnesota. Saturday, Sunday, and then that's wraps up August, and then we go into September with a 3-game set against the Orioles at home. So, gentlemen,
I'll be at the Wednesday game in the suite.
Oh,
where is the suite? It's at the side where they have like
the second. It's the second level, and it's about midway between third base or first base and.
Is it up to where
you showed it to us? I thought when we were in the game. I feel like you pointed.
It's at the second level, but by the time you get down to the suite and you sit down there, I don't know. We're about 6 feet above the first level.
Yeah. Okay. It's a great spot.
I got me and your Aunt Tammy or your sister Tammy. Mm-hmm. We'll be at that game.
I don't claim her. So.
Well, we'll look for you.
Funny. It goes both ways. Yeah.
Yeah, sure it does.
All right. So, different circumstances. These are both losing teams. Do we go conservative? Do we go bullish? Jack, you can pick first. Go ahead.
If we don't go 5-1, I'm going to be upset.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying it. 5-1.
All right, 5-1. Jerry, where are you at?
Win both series, 4-2.
4-2. That's what I'm thinking as well.
And I will be happy. I really will. I'm going to get. If I weren't already, I'm going to get boring from here on in. 4-2 to finish the season with the 30. What is it? 30-something games. Yeah. What'd you say, Jack?
Nothing. I didn't say anything.
I don't have my hearing aid in, Jack.
You said I don't want to get too boring, and then Jack said too late.
Yeah. You are my wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know they're related, huh? All right. People are putting their predictions in the chat. Let's plus them in. Anybody else watching right now? I want to put your predictions for this next set of games. Oh, but I gotta pick mine. I'm gonna be boring like Jerry as well. I'm gonna say 4-2. I'm gonna say 4-2. It's tough playing on the road, So
I don't want to hear excuses. I want 5-1.
Oz, of course, always the.
Oz is upset the Padres aren't 162-0.
I will say this though, and it is very favorable in who we're playing, but also I'll name off the 6 starting pitches that we're going to see, and. Unless you're just a huge baseball fan, I do know it's Zeb Matthews, who's a rookie or second-year guy. I can't remember.
Zeb?
Abel.
Wait, Zeb? Is it
Bradley,
Zeb?
Bradish, Wells, and Povich. That's your 6 starters you're going to face.
Zeb Matthews.
And we should be concerned because anytime we face a rookie pitcher.
Do they have ERAs over 5?
Or ERAs over 5, we do terrible. So, again.
I know I'm dating myself here, but Zeb sounds like a guy from Green Acres.
Yeah. Old Zeb Zebulinson. So, Oz says 6-0.
I think there was a Zeb on.
Maybe. Michael says we're going to a 6-game win streak.
I'm going to play Jay. I'm going to play Jay right now, Jack. You're losing the audience, Jack.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
I don't care.
Well, I care. We're trying to have an audience of people here, and you're like, "Oh, remember that old show from
Green
80 years
Acres?
ago? Wow.
The heck is that?
Acres is a place to be.
Oh, I want to tune into this Padres show. Let me check it out." It's like, oh, he's singing Green Acres. Yeah, that's a great sports program.
So far and wide.
So
Keep
there you
that
go,
just in
folks.
that countryside.
I apologize for Jack, but Jerry and I are locked in here on top.
I like it, and I like
in.
Michael. The
Locked
Dodgers
in.
wet the bed 6 games.
There you go,
We can only
Michael.
hope.
There we go.
We can only hope.
I am really not. I'm focused on all of them, but I'm really locked in on the Cubs. That's the one I'm really, because get that one. I like at least the chances of getting that home playoff game. And then if you're doing that anyway, there's a chance that you're going to catch the Dodgers too. So
And the Mets have gotten hot again.
yeah, and I just want to the old
streaky.
pass one team at a time, not I have to pass all three.
Yep, agreed. I think it's a great way to look at it and a great way to close out this episode. Thank you so much for everybody watching. Hit the like button and hit the subscribe and the bell so you don't miss any of these episodes.
And let us know if you want me to sing more show tunes.
I'm gonna guess it's gonna be a no. People in the chat, let us know.
Wait, Jay, you have control on who's on the screen, right, Jay?
That's true. Yeah. There we go.
There we go. Now we're talking.
See, I got the power.
Thursday nights, 5:15 Pacific, 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. Well done, comics.
Well, thanks, X-Ray. Thanks, X-Ray.
Yeah. I agree, Mike. I agree.
Oh, that's Mike?
There's a Mike. How many mics are there?
There are 3 mics.
Oh, Lordy. We
X-Ray's
didn't
name
have
Mike
here today.
Yeah.
All right.
Can you give your real name?
And I still don't have my All-Star hat, but you know.
It's right here. It's still sitting in the box.
Yeah. Woo.
I got it.
Does me a lot of good.
I will at some point. All right, everybody. We'll see you all next time. Hasta luego. And goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Oh,